Today on Dr. Phil.
I have the mother-in-law from hell.
Is there anyone you'd like to cut out of your family tree?
My mom went from a sweet and loving person to someone who has a bunch of hatred.
How many times have you told me, shut up, Mom, shut up, Mom?
Because you're not listening.
I'm his mother.
Well, I got a mother, but she doesn't tell me what to do every day.
This meddling mother-in-law
You said, Mom, you're crazy. You are.
just can't cut the cord.
She is freaking obsessed with him.
And you think that it's creepy.
Very much so.
I know you're a grown person. I would never interfere in your life. Did I interfere in your other marriages?
You are going to hell, Betty.
Why do you hate me so much that you want my son to hate me?
Betty,
You know, honey, because I have a good family.
Betty, over here. Betty. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
It matters to you. That's what I want to talk about. We ready in the booth?
Take.
Let's do it. I got a question for you. What would you do if you couldn't get along with one of your relatives? I bet you already know, because I'm sure you can't get along with all your relatives. But would you just like, I don't know, cut them out of your family tree? Feels good sometimes, doesn't it? But it really can have ramifications. Now, this is Melissa right here, and that's what you say you're ready to do if things don't change with your mother-in-law, Betty, correct?
Yes.
And you don't want that to happen.
No.
Let's take a look.
I have the mother-in-law from hell. My mother-in-law has told me that I have ruined her son and that I have stolen him from her.
I feel she's taking him away from me, and he's allowing it to happen.
After 9 months of Tyson and I dating, he decided to propose to me on my birthday. So we got married in June in Jamaica.
When we finally got married, that was a breaking point. My mom completely did a 180, telling me that marrying Melissa was wrong.
Melissa wanted to marry my son really bad, and the first thing, she wanted a baby.
She said that I was just brainwashing him and trying to trap him, that he really didn't want a child with me. Betty called Tyson's coworkers, crying, asking them for their help in making Tyson see the light and see true colors of me. Betty told some family members that if Tyson was to leave me, she would cook his meals, clean his house, do his laundry, and take care of the children, so then there would be no need for me. She is freaking obsessed with him.
I've heard that Melissa's called him a mama's boy.
It kind of hurts because I'm right in the middle of everything.
For Betty putting Tyson in the middle of all this and making him have to choose makes me hate her even more.
He says, I love you because you're my mom, but I don't want you in my life. And I'm wondering why.
My husband and I have decided that if she does not change, that we are going to be cutting her out of our lives.
Okay, how do you feel to hear that?
To me, it's all a lie, because I've never, ever felt those feelings that I wanted to get in between them. It never came to my mind to hurt my son, to hurt Melissa. Never.
You have MS, correct?
Yes.
Have you said, I hope the MS is someday going to get her?
No.
Did you say that she stole your son from you?
I didn't say she stole him. I feel that she's done something to keep me out of their life, out of his life.
Did you say to her, you have ruined him, you are a monster, the worst thing he could have do is to have a child with you, I wish he never met you, you're trying to trap him, he will know the truth about you, and he will leave you?
No, I have never said that.
You didn't say any of that stuff?
I have never said that to you.
Are you lying about all of that?
Those things were either directly said to me, directly said to my husband, or the internet guy.
When? When did I say that?
Okay, wait a minute. Just, I'll get to that in a minute. I just want my son back in my life without her.
I have never said that.
She has ruined everything for me. I am left out because of her. She brainwashed him to getting a vasectomy. Reversal.
Okay, all I know is when Tyson wanted that vasectomy,
Reversal.
No, not the reversal. When he first wanted the vasectomy, he told me, I don't want any children. I don't want any children. You wanted children right away, Melissa.
Isn't that between the two of them?
That's okay. That's
Well,
fine. But why
apparently
did
it
Tyson
isn't.
involve me and said, Mom, come?
Your son's
come with
37
me."
years old.
He's
This isn't even his
30s.
first wife.
I know he's not. I know it isn't.
So what business is it of yours whether he does or doesn't? He's 37
I'm his
years
mom.
old.
I'm his mother.
Well, I got a mother, but she doesn't tell me
But
what to
I'm
do
his
every
mother.
day.
I understand that. But I'm his mother.
Did you say, why are you wasting money on this elaborate wedding
No,
when it isn't
I
going
never
to work?
said that. No, I never said that. Never. Melissa, when did I say that? Melissa, when you first met my son, I thought the world of you. I really liked you, Melissa. You're beautiful. You brought a good part of my son out. Get it, please understand, I am not here. I'm not here to hurt anyone. God is my witness.
Okay, well, let's leave him out of this for a minute. Did you recruit a spy on the internet?
No, I didn't.
Okay, what's that say?
Expert from instant messages from Betty with, you know, that can be changed, Melissa.
Oh, Jesus.
You
Betty.
can change
Take
things.
ownership of what you've
Okay,
done.
no, wait, hold on.
No,
hold on a
I
minute.
can't. I talked to him, but if he oh, you know, I know I
You're
talked to him.
caught.
No, I'm not caught.
Black and white, we have proof. You are caught telling lies on a complete
No,
stranger
I'm
on the
not,
internet.
Melissa.
All right, here's what, let me get the facts out here. You say you did not recruit somebody to spy on
No, I
her
never.
on the internet. Well, I'm not going to say this person's name here, but this is you talking to him, and you're saying their names are Tyson and Melissa. Will you look it up for me, find out, and read? He says, well, sure. You say, you need to keep me up on what she says or he says.
No.
And then the guy says, sure thing, I can be your spy, LOL.
No.
And you said, that's true, but you probably have to be a friend first. And so he goes through here about how he could become a friend with her. And then he comes back and says, bingo, she just accepted me. Yeehaw, let the fun begin.
No. No.
Did I read that right?
No.
That's what, yeah.
Okay. And then, so because you've been blocked from their pages, right?
I blocked you too from mine
Okay.
So be it.
because
Okay.
of that last thing you sent to me.
Saying to leave us alone and quit calling Tyson's coworkers? Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm just
wasn't
trying
calling
to get...
their
Listen, I'm
coworkers.
still trying to get the facts out here so I know what I'm dealing with. Finally, this guy writes back to you and says, you know what? Your son has left a lot of nice messages for her, and it seems to me that he is happy. So my opinion is maybe you should reevaluate, and if he's truly happy, find out a way to accept that. And you say, yes. She puts it out there that they are so happy, and you say, she has my son so ruined.
But a lot of that stuff's not me saying things.
Well, what part of this did you not say? Because somebody
Because
has hacked your
I talked
account.
to him, but I was putting my heart out there.
This is
No.
your problem, Betty. You are the victim
No,
in everything.
I'm not. No,
you
I'm not.
are
I don't
poor
consider
Betty, the
myself
victim.
I'm too busy to be.
You went on the internet
victim.
and found an internet guy, a complete stranger, and told him things
I didn't
about
find
my
him.
private life.
I didn't find I have the beginning.
dangerous.
No, I have the beginning where
So
he.
what if it would have? Okay, this was obviously
this
a
is why
stand-up
they
guy.
don't listen to me. They
This was
won't
a
let me
stand-up guy
talk.
that got a hold of us and said, "Hey, this is what's going on." What if you would have contacted some freaking killer that was going to help you
my
out?
goodness.
There's people out there like that, Betty, that was going to help you out and off your daughter-in-law for you. There's people out there like that.
I never even. That never came up in my mind. What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying it came up in your mind.
Wow. You know what, Melissa?
same
maybe
conversation you had with this guy, if
maybe
you would have had
you're-
with a killer,
maybe you're
I'd
the
probably
man.
not be here
maybe
today.
you're the man. Maybe you're the one that set me up with this man.
Okay, well, what
Maybe
you're-
you did,
You're
Melissa.
crazy.
Okay, hold on.
I heard that you could have done that. Excuse me, Dr.
Her
Phil.
point is that this is a stranger, and it could have been some wacko that really took things too far. Now, at no time did you,
And I'm sorry for that.
at no time did you ask him to do anything unkind?
I did not.
At no time did you ask him to be intrusive in any way other than to just get on there and monitor?
No.
So you certainly didn't solicit any kind of bad thing. Your point is, this could have been a wacko that took it too far. You didn't know somebody to start, some stranger to start following them. That's the danger of the internet. You understand that,
I understand
right?
that.
Your son's watching all this right now.
That's
He's back in the green.
okay.
I wanted to talk to you guys first, but he's been talking about all this. Now look, I don't care how flat you make a pancake, it's got two sides. And Melissa's not innocent in all this either. I'm going to talk to her when we come back. Plus Melissa's husband, who's been listening to the conversation, we're going to meet him in just a little bit. He says he's caught in the middle. Well, maybe he put himself there. We'll be right back. Has she been antagonistic to this marriage?
Yes.
Did she want you not to marry her?
Yes, she did.
Did she want you not to have a baby with her?
Yes, she did.
Did she want you not to spend money on a big wedding because it wasn't going to work anyway?
Yes.
Tomorrow on Dr. Phil. Overweight teens harassed at home.
You had a tuna sandwich, french fries, fried chicken. I intended to make her aware.
You couldn't be more destructive to her efforts to lose weight if you had been hired to undermine her.
Now they're fighting back.
Jennifer would like to go to one of these fat camps.
My dad will say, oh, we don't have money.
That was a lie, wasn't it?
I didn't trust that she would follow through. I
The
thought
truth was you didn't believe in her.
That's tomorrow.
I haven't spoken to my mother in at least 3 weeks. I don't understand why my mother wants to ruin my marriage. I would figure as close as me and my mom are that she would be happy to see how happy I am. She's being jealous. I feel like I've been put in the middle of this. My mom went from a sweet and loving person to someone who has a bunch of hatred. My mother's personality has changed. I don't even know her anymore. When my mom said that marrying Melissa was a mistake, that was just a devastating feeling. The last heated argument that I had with my mother, she told me that she was done and that she was putting me behind her. I feel that what she is doing is wrong. I still love my mother. I miss her very much. I would like things to be back the way they were. I want to know from Dr. Phil if this can be fixed.
Okay, so you have not one person, but two people that are being very critical of the way you're engaging them in this relationship. Is that because she has corrupted his thinking, or is he right?
I feel that she's put things in his head, like telling him he's a mama's boy, telling him that he has no, he can't stand up for himself.
Let's ask Tyson to join us here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good to meet you. Sorry for the occasion, but I'm good to meet you. Yeah. I can put you a chair. Where would you like to sit?
Over here, please.
With you? Well, okay.
Yes.
Put it on this side. All right. You've been listening to all of this, right?
Yes.
And there's two sides to this. I've been talking about the criticisms that Melissa has and some of that you have for your mother and the way that she's engaged you guys in this relationship. Has she been antagonistic to this marriage?
Yes.
Did she want you not to marry her?
Yes, she did.
Did she want you not to have a baby with her?
Yes, she did.
Did she want you not to spend money on a big wedding because it wasn't going to work anyway?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why would you say these things about your mother if they're not true? Do you love your mother?
Yes, I do love my mother.
Very much.
Yeah, very much.
Look at me.
Yes, I do.
Look
I love
at
you
me
very much.
and tell me, is that really true, Tyson? When? Give me the dates. Give me the time I've said those things. I have never said those things, Tyson. You are old enough. I know you're a grown person. I would never interfere in your life. Did I interfere in your other marriages? Melissa, please.
Hey, then why are you interfering in my life?
Don't look at me like that. Like you think I've done something wrong.
Talk to me, please.
I will talk to you, but tell her to stay out of this, because you change when you're change when you're around her.
I don't
you
understand.
You have not talked to me nice.
I do not understand where you are coming from with all this.
Okay, you're talking to me nice. Okay,
yes, I am
understand.
talking to you nice.
I wish I could have kept our conversations the way you tell me to get out of your life.
This is what happens every time we talk. This is exactly what happens.
No, you don't want to listen to me. You don't. How many times have you told me, "Shut up, mom. Shut up, mom"?
It's because you're not listening.
You're not listening to me. You've never listened to me. See this? Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you want. Go ahead. I will listen to you. It's like you always do. Every time I say something, you always say something
Okay,
back.
hold on. Let me say something. Do you not think much of do you not think he's very smart?
I believe my son is very smart. My son is very intelligent.
Well, do you think he's kind of weak?
He's a good person.
Do you think he's kind of weak?
No, he never has been. He's never showed me he's weak.
Well,
that's why I don't
okay,
understand why you want to get rid of your best friends. Why did you want him out of his best friend's life? What did you do to his best friend, Bobby? What did you do to Bobby? What do you do with your granddaughter? Why do you talk bad about my granddaughter?
Why do you say my granddaughter your life? What were you saying to my daughter?
Why am I out of your life? What did I do horrific?
Because of your actions.
What is my actions?
Okay, time out. Time out. You can't. You hold on.
I'm sorry, but you know he's got to understand.
No. I'm trying to help you here, really, Betty.
I know you are.
Let me help you. Betty, Betty, over here.
Look at me, Tyson.
I'm a grown man. I can make my own
I know
decisions.
you are, but look
Do you
at me.
understand that?
I'm your mom.
And this is my wife, okay?
I'm your mom. That's it. I love you. I'm your mom. I wanted you in my life. I never wanted you out. I wanted to look for answers. Why didn't you like me?
Us from your whole
Why didn't you
family.
like me from the beginning?
Your whole family.
Oh, now my whole family, oh, I have a good family. You don't go there with my family because I have a good family.
Yeah, that we loved being a part
Betty.
of until you caused problems.
Betty.
Oh,
Betty.
you know, honey, you better think because I got family that's
Betty.
going to tell you different.
Betty. You can't believe this is working.
It's not working because they're the ones that are against me. Okay, I'm
Well,
not
no, wait a
against
minute,
you
wait a
two.
minute. Listen,
How many
hold on.
times they
Oh,
tried,
Betty.
Tyson? I love you.
Okay, hold on a second. The truth is that you have been attacked in this as well, correct? Have you said unkind things about your mother-in-law?
In retaliation, yes, I have.
Have you said that mother-in-law drama is over, good riddance, you try to be homewrecker?
Yes, I have.
Have you said my mother-in-law has major issues? All I can say is seek help. I'd like to keep my wonderful husband and divorce my mother-in-law.
Yes, I did say that.
Did you yell you to her and hang up?
Yes, I did.
That's not constructive.
Out of the regrets, that's probably not the mature thing to do. What happened is 5 minutes into the conversation, she was screaming that I ruined her son's life. The worst mistake he ever did was go down my path, that he better not have a child with me, and I just hit my limit, and I screamed at her, and I hung up, and I haven't spoken to her since, and that was over a year ago.
And this had to do with the vasectomy reversal?
Yes, it did.
You did not want him to do that because you feel like he didn't want children. He had told you he didn't want children, so you think she's gotten in, corrupted his thinking, convinced him that he does want children, and therefore that's a bad thing. True? That's your opinion, which you're entitled to.
Why don't you ask him whose choice it was to have the reversal? I did not ask him for the reversal. He came to me wanting children.
Tell me what you want. What do you want them to do in their relationship with you? What would you like for them to do?
I want him back in my life. And that I didn't do that, Tyson. I go back and think, I was so busy trying to make a living for myself and take care of myself. I have never intruded in your life. You can honestly tell me, look at me and tell me, have I ever told you horrible things? No, I never.
Yes, you have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, you have.
Tyson, you're saying that because Melissa's here.
You left a voicemail on my phone
because
telling me that
totally
I was stupid, I'm making the wrong decision, that, you know,
I didn't say
having
you
the
said I was
reversal
stupid.
was bad.
You said I was stupid. You said, Mom, you're crazy.
Yeah,
Mom, you're stupid.
Yeah, it's because of
no,
what you...
I'm not crazy. I am totally in my right mind.
Okay, I think I'm going
mother.
crazy.
I am hurt, Tyson.
So I'm going to take a break,
You
and then we're going to
changed
come
your
back, and I'm
life.
going to
You
try to
changed
figure a
your
way to steer this in some positive direction. If not, this is running way off the tracks. We'll be right back.
Why do you hate me so much that you want my son to hate me? Why do you hate me, Melissa? Why, Melissa? Tell me the truth. Why?
And later...
Rosie is obsessed constantly talking about Daddy's will, Daddy's house. What's going to happen when you die?
I do feel like my sister has cheated me.
Friday on Dr. Phil. Are you passive or aggressive?
I get frustrated with people like this.
It's all about you.
Exactly.
Who's your perfect match?
There is one thing that she really needs to do.
Take the personality quiz and find out.
We did a little hidden camera test on this audience.
And see how we turn the tables on Dr. Phil.
This expert snooped in my office, and we're going to reveal what it said about my personality.
That's Friday. Then on Monday.
When Noah throws a tantrum, I feel like a failure of a mom.
What do you do if you have a child that acts like a brat?
Whether you have one holy terror or triplets.
Get up in that bed! Hush!
Why are you yelling all the time?
I don't think I yell all the time.
We have a lot of tape.
They're saying the blessing. Bow your head.
You can brat-proof your child.
You want to know the #1 thing you're doing to sabotage this child's future?
That's Monday.
She makes inappropriate comments like, ooh, if you weren't my son, and damn, you look good in those pants. She is freaking obsessed with him.
Okay, so your perception is that we have an Oedipal cat fight going on here. That this is a mother that is over-attached to her son.
It's ridiculous. I'm not the only person that sees that either.
And you think that it's creepy.
Very much so.
How do you feel about that?
You know, when they kind of said, hey, this is, you know, listen to what your mom's saying to you, it made sense. You know,
what has she said to you that creeped you out?
Just like the point was saying, hey, you know, this, if you weren't my son, I was like, man, you know, why would you say something like that to your own child?
When we,
you know?
Before we went to Jamaica, we lost a bunch of weight, and we took before and after pictures, and Tyson was in just shorts, and Betty came over, and we were showing, you know, look what we did. She would not turn the page off of that picture of him just in shorts, and she asked us for a copy of that picture, and Tyson's like, Mom, you're not getting a picture of me half naked, and she wanted that picture.
Never.
Yes, you did.
You thought that was strange in what way?
Oh, my
It's
word.
strange, and it's like,
Oh, my word.
I don't know, it just, when she said that, it just kind of made me feel weird.
Okay.
My word, Tyson. I never seen a picture like that.
Yes, you did.
Going to hell,
No, I
Betty.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
Where?
It was at our house.
Oh, my word. Why do you hate me so much that you want my son to hate me? Why do you hate me, Melissa? Why, Melissa? Tell me the truth. Why? I'm sorry.
Are you going to hush so I can talk?
No. Why should I hush? Why should I hush? Maybe
you ask,
somebody
whenever
will
you
get
ask
good
a
at
question,
this.
it's the polite thing to do to shut up and listen to the answer. That's the polite thing to do.
Do that?
Have I been interrupting you?
Do you do that?
Have I been interrupting you? I have been sitting here nice and polite.
All right, let me ask you something here. Are you going to listen to me, or are you going to sit there and think?
Listen to you.
I'm trying to help you, and if you don't want it, then I'll move on and talk to somebody else. I'm trying to help you here, but at some point, you got to stop talking and do at least a little bit of listening.
When they said that if they say something, Dr. Phil. Listen, they said if I feel I'm being
Betty,
wronged, I need to prove that and show that.
I get it.
I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm not here to look ridiculous with everybody. I'm sorry.
Listen, I do not think that you are an evil woman. You may think she's an evil woman, but I don't think that.
I just think she has issues.
You two have been married 2 years now?
Yes.
And do you plan to remain married?
Yes.
Are you happy in this marriage, Tyson?
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
Overall, would you say that you made the right choice when you married Melissa?
Oh, most definitely you did.
If you had it to do over again, would you marry her again?
Yes, I would.
And you had your vasectomy reversed?
Yes.
Was that the right thing to do?
Yes, it was.
Was that your decision to do?
That was my decision.
Did she encourage you to do that?
No.
And do you think that if you had that to do over again, you'd still get it reversed?
I'd still get it reversed.
Okay. And at this point, do you want to have a normal and relaxed and healthy relationship with your mother?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to have her in your life?
Yes, I would.
And you'd like to have her as a grandparent to children? And you would like to see things, Thanksgiving, Christmas, things being natural, normal, easy?
Yes, I would.
Okay. Are you open to that if the toxic nature of these interactions was to diminish and go away?
I have told Tyson in the last year, at any given time, if you make up with your mom, you guys can go out to dinner, you can take her to the movies, you can do this, that. She's not, after all the horrible things, especially about me dying of MS, more or less, I said she is not welcome in our home. And my standpoint today, especially since she won't take ownership in any of this, is that they can have their relationship, and that's perfectly fine because they need to have a relationship. As for me, I do not wish a relationship with her. I would just like things to be civil.
All right. But you're okay if she has a relationship?
Oh, I've always said that.
You certainly think that she has been manipulative and negative with you, and she thinks you have been manipulative and negative with her. So you two are not going to be fast friends right now, correct? I mean, I hope at some point you could forgive one another and begin to build a new history and maybe start with some boundaries and and all, but at this point, I don't see that in the cards because there's so much unfinished emotional business here.
That she started.
And so much that she won't acknowledge.
You started it by saying one.
The first step would be for you to be acknowledge what you have done, Betty, and you sit there
you
and
need
you
to
lie.
acknowledge all the things you've said to certain people.
Every question that he asked, you said, I didn't say that, I didn't do that, I
You've
did
said
that.
a lot
Whenever
of
he
things,
asked the questions,
Melissa.
I said, yes, I said that, yes, I said that.
Okay, what is it you would like her to admit?
I'd like her to admit that she's the one that started the whole thing. She's the one that said she didn't like me. I never said I didn't like you. Where in the world did you get off thinking I didn't like you? Where did you think that? Where did you?
I woke up and I'm like, I hate Betty.
I never said none of those things to you,
Yes, I
Tyson.
heard it from
No,
you.
I didn't.
We'll be right back.
Honestly,
but-
Tyson, do you love your mom?
Yes, I do love my mom.
You come with your own conclusions about my thinking. You twist my thinking. You twist everything around to suit you, Melissa.
Betty?
I'm not twisting what to suit me, okay?
Betty?
All I know is where I am. I'm sorry.
You can have a relationship with your son, but it can't be based on the character assassination of his wife. That will never, ever work. And here's the thing. Maybe this relationship won't work, and maybe they'll get a divorce and she'll go away, but all signs point to no at this point. She reports being happy, he reports being happy. You don't give him much credit. I mean, I would think if you believe in your son, you would have the confidence in his ability to think for himself and to not be putty in the hands of this woman. I mean, give him some credit, right? I mean, he seems to me to be a very intelligent, articulate, and put together guy.
I
mean,
will believe. I tell you, yes.
well, then
believe me when I tell you that I'm happy.
And do you love your mom?
Yes, yes, I do.
Honestly,
I do, but
Tyson, do you love your mom?
yes, I do love my mom.
Do you respect my opinions?
Yes, I do.
I think you went too fast. You should have stopped and thought a little bit faster.
But the end
you
result,
wanted a
the end
baby
result,
right
we are
away.
happy.
See,
hold on.
see what I mean?
No, no,
I
wait a
give
minute,
up.
wait a
I
minute.
can't. You come with your own conclusions about my thinking. You twist my thinking. You twist everything around to suit you, Melissa.
Betty?
I'm not twisting what to suit me, okay?
Betty?
All I know is where I am. I'm sorry, but
No, hang with me a minute here. You just expressed a lot of opinions there about him making decisions too fast and moving too fast and reversing his position, as well as his vasectomy and all, and you thought that, you just didn't think that was a good idea. But here's the thing. He's 37 years old. People make no, listen to me. Don't be thinking about what you're going to say next. Listen to me. People change. They make decisions. And he made a decision, and that's what being an adult is all about. Sometimes we see our children, we fix them at a young age, and we think of him as a little boy. He's not a little boy. And you know what? If this is the wrong thing for him, if she is the wrong thing for him, then he will suffer that consequence, and he will be fine. He will survive. He will go on. But he believes it's the right thing, and I don't suggest that you're the wrong decision in his life at all.
Third time's a charm.
This is a grown man, and you have to step back and let him be a grown man.
Tyson, can I ask a question?
You didn't hear a word
Yes,
I
I
said.
did.
You can't think that fast. Before I'm finished with the last syllable of the last word, you're already engaged in a conversation with Tyson like I wasn't even here.
I heard you.
If the only things you're guilty of are the things you confess to, you've crossed a boundary. Forget the things you deny, take those off the table. Just the things you confess to crosses the boundary. I want you to take a deep breath, step back, and maybe right now you two can have a relationship. But if you have a relationship with your mother, and Tyson, I urge you, I implore you to try to find a basis for having a relationship with this woman. You need to help by establishing some boundaries. Spend time with her, but just don't talk about your marriage. That's off limits. I mean, maybe you talk about the weather first. Then maybe you talk about, you know, what's happening on television. Or maybe you talk about what was on Dr. Phil yesterday. Or you find safe things to talk about within these boundaries. And when you normalize, then maybe you begin to expand those fence lines. But right now, I want you to to have a relationship. Betty, I want you to have a relationship with your son. Respect some boundaries and allow that to happen. You don't need to be right. You just need to have a relationship with your son. That's all you want, correct?
I would want to.
Can we start a step at a time?
I just know that I know what I did and what I didn't do.
It's not important. It's not important. That's, if you're a right fighter, that's important. If you want to have a relationship with your son, that's not really important right now. Okay, give your mom a hug here. She really needs a hug here. Okay? All right, up next, two sisters who have been fighting over their father's will for the last 20 years.
My sister Rosie was furious. Daddy left the house to me. I decided to go to court to settle this.
I do feel like my sister has cheated me.
I've got hate in my heart toward Rosie because nothing will satisfy her.
All right, look at this house. Now, Pat and her sister Rosie have been fighting for 20 years over who should get it, who should get this house. Now, Pat says their dad left it to her in his will, and she should be able to do with it as she sees fit. Well, her sister Rosie doesn't even almost agree. Take a look.
Rosie is obsessed, constantly talking about Daddy's will, Daddy's house. What's going to happen when you die?
I do feel like my sister has cheated me.
Daddy left the house to me because he knew that I would take care of it.
My daddy wrote his will to say that Pat got the house first, and if something happens to her, the home comes to me.
I decided to go to court to settle this. Rosie was furious.
Patsy took me to court and had my name taken off my daddy's estate.
All I had to do was pay Rosie the $18,000 and the house would be mine.
My daddy wrote in his will, my daughter Patricia gets my house for herself to live in and rent as long as she lives. Then my home goes to my daughter Rosalie as long as she lives. The will also states that my sister's husband, Hazen, is not supposed to be in my father's shop or in the home, and it upsets me terribly that he lives there. My daddy stated in his will that the home stay in his bloodline and never be sold.
I'm almost to the point where I feel like I've got hate in my heart toward Rosie because she keeps bringing this up. Nothing will satisfy her, and she just cannot get over it.
Let me have a go at this just commonsensically here. The will left the house to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it said that you were to pay her $18,000 and then you would get clear title to the house.
Yes, sir.
We agree with that part?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Did you pay her the $18,000?
Yes.
Did you get clear title to the house?
Yes.
All right, thank you all for coming. I mean, seriously, I mean, isn't it game over? What?
My daddy did not want it to go to her husband and her son.
Well, but when he says pay you $18,000 and she gets clear title, once you own something, you own it. You can burn it down if you want to.
Well, then she'll just have to do what she wants to.
But you want something from her.
I want it in paper like my daddy wanted it, that it will go in his bloodline. That's what he wanted.
Well, she owns it.
Well, she'll just have to do what she wants to with it then.
But you want a writing from her that says when she dies that you get the house.
Or if I die first, it's supposed to go to my daughter, not her husband and Jay. That's why he left it that way. He paid $36,000 for the home. That's why I got 18, and I paid for my daddy's funeral. And that's why I got so little, because it is supposed to come back to me and go to my daughter and her two children.
How long y'all been arguing about this before he passed away?
None.
Well, you knew about the will before that, right?
Yes.
But you weren't happy about the will?
I'm fine with the will.
He didn't say he didn't want him up. He said he didn't want his son-in-law in his shop.
But he is in the shop. Driving his car.
He didn't want him using his tools?
He just didn't like him, period.
Yeah.
And it upsets me.
Well, let's hear what your husband has to say about this.
When Pat's dad died, that's when the feud really began. Rosie has never gotten over her dad leaving Pat the house. She can't accept the way things are. Rosie accused Pat cutting her out of the will, and that's nowhere near the truth. When the father passed away, the copy of the will was given to Rose. She went off, having a fit, and I told Pat to give her $40,000 for half of the value of the house, and she cussed Pat out and told her that there was no way that she was going to be ripped off. Rosie likes to go on about my father-in-law not liking me. I didn't have problems with him. Rosie gets a thrill out of causing problems. It's been going on for 20 years, and it's got to stop. I hope Dr. Phil can get them straightened out.
I got to take a break. Then I've got some questions for you to try to get to the bottom of this. And I want to know how you at home handle these difficult relatives. So you can go to my Facebook page right now. You can share your stories on how you deal with family members that you don't see eye to eye with. I'm interested in hearing this because, unfortunately, it's not an isolated problem, particularly in tough economic times. So the question is, what should happen here? And is it worth breaking up this relationship between sisters? I say no. I'll be curious what they say when we come back.
Pat deliberately kept me in the dark when it come to settling my daddy's affairs. I really do think my sister got money from a life insurance policy and kept it all and did not share it with me. I would have never treated my sister like she did me.
Did you steal money from her?
No, sir, I haven't stolen anything from anyone.
I have a fine lawyer here today. Areva Martin is with us. Say hello to Areva.
Hi, hello.
She is a civil and family attorney. Areva, help me out here. I mean, this seems to me to be a really good example of why you need to get a lawyer, because this will, which was just written out by your father.
Yes, sir.
He didn't get a lawyer. He just wrote all this out.
Yes, sir.
And it contradicts itself top, side, and bottom. It's full of inconsistencies, and one thing kills another. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, Dr. Phil, classic problem with this will. In the first part of the will, he clearly is giving Pat the house in exchange for her paying $18,000 to Rosalie. But then the will goes on to talk about basically a life estate. He wants this property to stay in the family. He wants Pat to live in it first, and then he wants Rosalie to live in it. Then he wants Rosalie's daughter, Michelle, to live in it, and her grandchildren to live in it. So Dad had a couple of things that he wanted to accomplish in this will, but they're conflicting things. And without a lawyer looking at it and telling him what he could and couldn't do, he created now what is essentially a mess. And we see this happen a lot with inheritances. And Pat went to court. And she got a court order that said that the house was hers if she paid the $18,000. And we heard her say that she did that. So now she's the legal owner of the house. So her husband, who Dad didn't want to have anything to do with the house, he now has rights to the house because he's married to Pat. And Pat's child, that's also not in this will, can be an heir to this home because now the home belongs to Pat. So unfortunately, Dad's wishes about Rosalie and Michelle mean nothing.
You really want to write your sister off over a 50-year-old house?
It's not.
And if you live to be, it would be like 70 years old by the time either one of you are likely to pass, hopefully.
Right.
It's going to be inconsequential.
It's not got anything to do with that house. It's
Apparently it does.
No, it's due to respect to our daddy.
You two have got your priorities all wrong. Here, you're talking about what your daddy intended. He wrote a handwritten will 10 years before his death. Things change. People evolve. Another child comes into the picture. I mean, who knows? I mean, that's why it's so important that we go to lawyers, we make our wills clear, we make them enforceable, we update them at significant times in our life. You never know when you're going to pass.
That's right.
Listen, I don't know what your daddy intended or didn't intend, but I am pretty certain he did not intend to write an instrument that would divide and fracture his family for the rest of their lives. I'm pretty sure that's not what he wanted. So if you're so interested in honoring your father's memory and his wishes, then don't leave his legacy being that his family was fractured and divided because of something that he did that was ill-advised from a legal standpoint. We're not talking about enough money here to make, this isn't like Buckingham Palace with billions of dollars.
That's right. That's exactly right.
We're talking about a house that probably won't even be in existence when the two of you pass, I hope.
Right.
And do you think this is what he wanted, that he wanted the two of you to be at odds with each other, that he wanted to do something where you wound up saying, I am done with my sister? That's not what your father wanted. If you're sensitive to him, take it from a father. That would be the worst legacy I could ever leave my children, is do something that would divide them. Take it from a father. I'm trying to give you some advice here. Take this. As a father, I have 2 children. If I did anything that in my passing caused them to no longer be best friends, to no longer support each other, to no longer to be in each other's balcony, cheering the other on in their lives, I would never rest easy a day of eternity if I'd known I had done that. Don't make that your father's legacy here. Close this gap up. Close this gap up. We'll be right back. We got to go. Areva, people need to get a lawyer when it's time to plan their estate. I mean, it costs a little bit of money, but it can save all kinds of problems.
Lots of headaches, Dr. Phil. And you are so correct in terms of get a lawyer when you start and update your will, because what we just saw was a will that was 10 years old, and clearly this father's wishes had changed. And only if he had had a chance to make those changes, I don't think we'd see the fight that we saw here today.
Areva, thank you. Thanks for being here. So long.